Hello and welcome to this course on email writing best practices and guidelines. 60% of email is said to be spam, so make sure your mails are accurate, concise and relevant. This course is designed to help you better understand how you can draft emails that effectively communicate your messages. By the end of this course, you will be able to learn these 4 things. Draft engaging emails that attract your customer's attention. Communicate effectively with your customer. Know what you should include in your email conversations. Know what you must avoid in writing your emails and prevent unnecessary escalations. Let's begin this course by taking a quick look at an introduction to email writing. Here is a quick grammar tip that will always help your writing. Write in an active voice and avoid the passive voice. An active voice shows that a subject is performing the verb's action. Example, Marilyn mailed the letter. In contrast, the passive voice shows that the verb is acted upon by the subject. Example, the letter was mailed by Marilyn. Instead of writing your feedback would be much appreciated, try saying, I would appreciate your feedback. Instead of writing your request has been received, try saying, I received your request. Now let's take a look at how you can write an effective mail. 1. The subject line. The subject line is usually the first thing someone reads before they decide to open your email. This also means that the subject line holds the key to whether your email is opened, ignored, or deleted. Unfortunately, non-native English speakers don't always know what to write in the subject line. Take a look at this example. This particular subject line, real-life example by the way, is vague, indirect, and does not hint at all what the content of the email will be about. The result? Delete. Subject lines are especially important if you're reaching out to someone for the first time. The recipient does not know who you are and can only judge you from your subject line. Let's break it down further and see how you can write a good subject line. Be clear, direct, and describe the content of your email. Don't be afraid to take up the whole subject line. Go ahead and tell them what to expect. As you can see, there's no need to resort to sneaky tricks or clickbait titles just to induce an opening. Remember, you don't want people to be tricked into reading your email. You actually want them to read it and take some kind of action. You want to associate positive feelings with your email, not anger and disappointment. Here are some good examples of subject lines. I'm going to be in town next Tuesday. Are you available? Introduction to Kevin Bacon. FAQ will take you 2 minutes. Need answer today. Susan suggested I reach out to you. Important. Please read. Approve A+ content ASAP. Please read. Weekly business report for your Amazon account. For the content of your email itself, you can begin by starting off with an appropriate greeting. There are 2 components to the greeting, the salutation and the opening sentence. Most non-native English speakers, probably out of fear of offending someone, tend to stick to just one salutation, Dear X. No matter the context, non-native English speakers will use Dear X over and over again. The appropriate salutation actually depends on the situation. If you're writing a formal email to a bank or government institution, it would be better to start off with Dear X. To help you out, here is a list of salutations you can open with in your emails. Dear first name, Dear Mr. or Dear Miss last name, good morning or good afternoon. Once you've gotten the salutation out of the way, it is time for an appropriate opening sentence. While the subject line determines whether your email is opened, Your opening sentence determines whether your email is read till the end. The best way to do this correctly is to research the person you're writing to. Find out what your recipient is interested in. Look around their social media profiles, example Facebook, LinkedIn, etc. And if they publish, read some of their blog posts. Do a Google search on their name and see if anything interesting comes up. Visit their company's website, read their About Us page and find out what they are working on or interested in collaborating on. With this information, you can write an opening sentence that builds rapport. Show that you understand them, what they need, and how you can help them. With this, you can also show that you're different, that you're interested in them, are willing to go the extra mile to find out more. Showing that you understand their challenges helps build trust. 3. The next thing to pay attention to regarding the content of your mail is to keep your message short and concise. Have a look at this particular statistic. We send and receive roughly 269 billion emails a day. If we average out across everyone in the developed world, 4 billion people, every single person would receive about 68 emails per day. This alarming statistic makes one thing very clear. We spend a lot of time reading emails. To write an email that is opened, read and acted upon is not easy. You have to put in the work upfront to ensure that the email is professional, empathetic and easy to read. You have to respect your reader's time. While you may feel like you need to tell them everything in one email, don't. No one is eagerly awaiting a 3-page essay arriving in their inbox. Here's one I received recently. If you write emails like this, please keep in mind the following corrections you can make. Keep the email short, concise, and to the point. Stick to essential and specific information. Think about it this way. What's the one thing you want to achieve after the person sees your email? Make sure the email is written in such a way where it achieves the end result you want. When you need to include a lot of information in your email, it's probably better to suggest a phone call or a meeting instead. Please ensure you use standard fonts in your emails. These standard fonts are generally acceptable by everyone. If you're using a non-English keyboard, your fonts may not show up properly on the other person's device. If you're trying to look like a native speaker, use standard fonts. Some fonts for languages have their own English font, which are a dead giveaway that a person writing is a non-native speaker. To prevent all kinds of tech issues from coming up, stick to what is safe. Use web-safe email fonts like Arial, Courier, Georgia, Helvetica, Lucida Sans, Tahoma, Times New Roman, Trebuchet MS, Verdena. In fact, take a look at the standard don'ts that Gmail provides. This will ensure that your recipient will receive your message in a normal font no matter what devices or operating system they are using. The next point you have to keep in mind is writing your closing. Once you're done with the content of your email, it's time to close it off. You don't have to make it fancy. Just keep your closing simple and straightforward. So nothing like this. Instead, stick to the safe, proven closing lines and you should be good. You can choose from some of the most common closing lines below. Yours sincerely, yours truly, yours sincerely, best regards, best, warm regards, warm wishes, kind regards, kind wishes, thank you, thanks. 6. Please schedule your emails in advance so that the recipient receives it at a time when they are most likely to read and respond to them. because when you're writing an international email, time zones matter. Due to the influx of emails one receives, an email you sent early in the morning could be buried at the bottom of his inbox by the time your recipient checks it. This may also mean that all your hard work spent crafting the email would be wasted. Instead, set yourself up for success. Remember rule number 1? Put yourself in their shoes. When would they be most receptive? When would their inbox be emptier? It might be during lunch. It might be Sunday evening when they are preparing for the week ahead. It might even be Friday. They are probably in a good mood because the weekend is coming. Then use a free email scheduling tool to ensure that your emails are sent at the right time to the recipient's inbox. The 7th and the final tip on how you can write effective emails is to do a final spelling and grammar check. You can do this at the end when you finish writing the mail. Don't spend all your time crafting a perfect message only to be ignored by the recipient because it's riddled with spelling and grammar errors. After you have finished drafting your email, copy and paste it into Microsoft Word or Google Docs to give it a quick grammar, phrasing, and spelling check. Alternatively, you can also use checkers like Grammarly to automate the process while you're drafting. Do a quick read aloud to make sure that you're not writing clunkily or sound like a robot. You need your email copy to sound human. Remember, help the reader focus on the message, not on your spelling errors. Now let's summarize the key takeaways from this course. Write in an active voice and avoid the passive voice. The subject line is usually the first thing someone reads before they decide to open your email. This also means that the subject line holds the key to whether your email is opened, ignored, or deleted. To kick off the email, you should begin with an appropriate greeting. There are 2 components to the greeting: the salutation and the opening sentence. Once you're done with the content of your email, keep your closing simple and straightforward. Then use a free email scheduling tool to ensure that your emails are sent at the right time to the recipient's inbox. Don't spend all your time crafting a perfect message, only to be ignored by the recipient because it's riddled with spelling and grammar errors. That brings us to the end of this module. Congratulations on completing it.